When we purchased our Nordhavn 57 recently, we bought it knowing it needed a lot of updating, some basic maintenance, and a few critical projects done. In fact, when James and I brought it down from Homer, Alaska, he made us some lists, noting which items, in addition to the bottom painting, must be done, and which items would be nice to have done. In this episode, we'll share a few more of those projects that we did during our 31 days in the shipyard. Welcome aboard. We are Alexa, Pat, and Gilligan the Fat Boat Cat. Follow us as we live aboard and cruise the U.S. and Mexico on our 57-foot Nordhavn Noeta with no ETA. So today is day 26 in the shipyard, and I think we're down to maybe 5 more days, so that's good. The boat is still a mess. It's still a work in progress. I have many light bulbs up and headliners up, but not all of them. There's piles everywhere, so piles, there's more piles, but it's finally coming together a little bit. So yeah, pilot house is a mess too. We've torn out so many wires and put in new ones, and today I took filters out of a water maker with James and opened cubbies I've never seen, found all sorts of old kind of spare parts. Maybe they work, maybe they don't. So we're getting there, but I'm really, really ready to be back floating again. So I think 5 more days and we will be floating again, but let me give you a little tour of the mess that this boat is right now, so maybe you can see some before and after. So we still don't have our name on our transom yet. That's blue tape, but messes. We've got Victron energy boxes because we have 2 new inverters on the boat. Back here is just stuff. I'm sure it goes to something. But there's so many people doing projects right now that I don't want to mess with anybody's piles. So we have piles over here, piles over there, boxes from Amazon. We've had hundreds of those. But galley's coming together, which is nice. But then we go up to the pilot house, and while it's better, it's still kind of like a bomb exploded in here. But what is new in here, so we've got some new shiny hardware there, and then pretty much all of this is new and exciting, but we still have a lot more that needs to go in down there. So, oh, here, I'll take you upstairs. Mess, there's just messes everywhere. But when we go up to the fly bridge, guess what? More messes. Okay, it's not as bad as it was, but we've got boxes everywhere. We've got some new things up here, and ladders and boxes still, and holes still in the boat. So we're getting there. But yeah, so that's our main level mess. There's more downstairs. I don't know if you want to see all that, but okay, I'll take you downstairs. We'll see. I don't have any lights right now because we're on battery power and the battery charger is not working. So, oh look, more cubby holes. Let's see. We've got piles up here in the stateroom. The printer's printing right now. A lamp. But yeah, there's boxes. Pictures that need to go on the wall still. And then, so if you could see when the lights are on, we've just got lots of cables in there and up here, and yeah, so we're still all torn apart here. And because Pat's stuff, it has to be out of his closet, there's just a big pile of clothes. So roof parts down. I know one day it'll look lovely and be clean, but right now it's been 26 days of this. Like, why is the wheel there? So that's where we're at now. there's a light at the end of the tunnel since they said they're gonna drop us in the water in 5 days. So we'll get there.
Okay. Back here, we elected to pull the shaft. During the survey, we discovered that at least one of the engine mounts was broken, maybe two. So we had to, in order to redo the mounts, we have to raise the engine a little bit, and in doing so, we have to realign the prop shaft, which is over there, really long. So we decided to pull the shaft, and we're going to replace the cutlass bearing, which is, again, we don't know when it was done. So it's one of those items that we've just elected to do since we're this far into the process anyway. It's just basically a piece of vented rubber. Water can flow in and out, and that's what the shaft rides on. Over here, the stern thruster and the bow thruster, there are seals inside here, and we've elected to redo those. They take the cap off, they inspect the bearings, change the oil, and then we'll renew the seals, which keeps the water out. If water gets in, it gets really expensive. ABT, I think it's a 5 or 7 year item, so we don't know when they were last done, so we've elected to just do it. So we're starting from a known point. Yeah. Same thing on the stabilizers. There are seals that are up in here. So you take the cap off, you inspect the bearings, we'll inspect the shaft, make sure there's no corrosion or anything weird going on. And then they replace the seal, replace the oil that's in there, and again, we're starting from a known point. Again, it's like for ABT, a 5 or 7 year item, so that's what we're doing. One of the things we're also doing is redoing the bottom paint. It was due, and in the process of doing so, we think that they misapplied the primer coat and then the bottom paint over it too soon, and it's created some bubbles. So they're gonna get to redo it. Lucky them.
It'll be done right.
But it'll be done right. Everybody said that they want to make sure that we're happy. So, they're going to do it. These have seen a lot of miles. Probably, I don't know, they're original, so 100,000 miles on these Stid helm chairs. We were going to replace the cushions, but they're an oddball model, so we got concerned that the cushions that we ordered weren't going to work. And they're green, which we're not too crazy about. So we just listed these on Craigslist. Hopefully somebody buys them soon. Pretty good deal. Act now, supplies are limited. And the bases, and we've ordered whole new Stid helm chairs. Act now.
While Pat and I are pretty handy and like to do boat projects ourselves, we opted to get the help of Yacht Tech and their connections of experts with many of the bigger projects before we take off for Mexico. We couldn't have completed a quarter of the list in the short time frame we had without their help. With the help of Brent and Nick with WavePoint Marine, we knew the navigation and electronic systems would work as intended. With Tristan, our woodworking in the pilot house matched the 20-year-old teak of the boat. Fellow Nordhavn owner Dan Bailey spent countless hours problem-solving and helping to set up our Victron battery charging system. The folks at Pacific Marine ensured we were happy with the haul-out and work that their crew pulled off. Chris, Jason, and Chris from Yacht Tech made sure our list of dozens of items from electrical to plumbing to headliners to all things engine room were done to James Knight standards. And of course, it was all overseen by James. This dream of getting back to Mexico on our floating home couldn't have been accomplished without all of them. So these are where the filters go for the water maker. James and I took the filters out yesterday. It's been a long time perhaps since they've been changed, and so this water smells like dead fish. Anyway, I'm gonna wet vac these out of here, or this water out of here, so we can get it flushed and clean before we leave to go down the west coast of the United States. So here we go. It shut down when it hit 4 gallons. I wasn't sure if it was going to shoot out the back or not. So I'm going to go empty that and then finish emptying this one. There's just a little bit left, and then got a second container to empty. And then we're going to put in new filters. Because boats, that's all. Still learning the dimensions of the doorways on this boat. That won't be the last time I do that. All right, that one's empty. It's pretty gross in there, so I'm gonna definitely go in there with some hot water and paper towels. Nothing soapy, because I don't want that in the water maker system. All right, so the plan is clean those out. Brought some fresh water and some paper towels. And the idea is clean it, flush it a few times, vacuum it out a few times, and then hopefully call it good. Stuff is just slime, it comes off. It's not pretty. That's what's in there. Not sure this has ever been cleaned. This is why we put filters on when we desalinate water. Oh, it looks so much better. And then we're gonna vacuum that out. By we, I mean me, because Pat's on a trip. So today is Sunday and there's no workers on the boat, which makes it a great day to do this kind of stuff. Next one is not as easy to reach because, well, boats. But, oh, this one's blacker. That's just my first wipe off of the wall. The bottom. Yeah. Gross. So I think this project is done for the day until James tells me to do it better. We'll see what happens. All right. Clean up the mess because boat projects. And then, yeah. See what's next on my list of things to do today. A much bigger engine room than our 50 Nordhavn, but sometimes it still feels a little cramped, but this is pretty good. This is I'm not going to complain. It is better over on this side. So over on this side it's standable, but of course all the things you want to work on are back there, so it's good. It's still, whoops, I have a pole there. It's a great engine room. I actually do love it.
When we were surveying the boat, this was the one that I came down here to take a video of.
Yep.
And the owner was a bit annoyed because I came down again because I wasn't sure about it.
Yes.
And I'm like, I just don't like the way this looks.
Yeah.
Just as I thought.
So that was broken.
Yeah.
Wow. And what would have happened?
1,600 miles on a broken engine mount.
What could have happened if we didn't fix this?
If I'd have pushed it too hard, I mean, ultimately the engine could have
come off.
It would not have been good because the engine could have fallen, changed its
positioning.
Positioning, and then the
shaft.
alignment and the shaft. Yeah, it would not be good.
Nice job, man.
Well,
Good
I didn't
catch.
want to push it too hard. That's why I was late coming.
That's why it took you so long to get out of Alaska.
To get here. Oh, because I could see the way the stud was reacting.
Yeah.
When he was going in and out of gear.
Wow. Nice find.
Hey, we're down here in the engine room of Noeta, the 57 edition. One of the things we discovered or suspected on the survey was one of the engine mounts was actually broken, and it turns out that that corner was actually broken. If you focus down here, we can see the new mounts and the stud. And the old one, the stud was actually snapped in half. So now they are installing new engine mounts, and part of that process is obviously the engine's jacked up while they put the mounts in. And then they also removed the shaft, the prop shaft, because we need to make sure everything is in alignment. On the 57, it's super critical because the shaft is so long. If it's off at all, you'll get a little wobble and we'll feel the vibration, and it's hard on everything. So that's where we're at down here. A lot going on. Yep. So we're happy to do this, and realistically, we will probably never have to do this again.
And it's a mess in here right now because of all the projects.
Yeah,
there's a lot of other projects.
We haven't really even moved in yet, so a lot of our stuff isn't even put away or anything. It's still in bins and stuff, because we literally got on the boat and 3 days later or something, we hauled out, and we've been here since. And then I've got that doggone work thing I get to keep leaving for. So.
And then what, in the back corner, he's working on some drains, doing the hoses.
I don't want
have to go back there.
Crawl back there, but this boat is all hydraulic. So in other words, bow and stern thrusters, the anchor windlass, which is the little machine that brings the anchor up and down, they're all hydraulic, and they run off of a giant pump, which is here. If you guys remember in the video, we had an oil leak. The gasket was bad. So they're actually in the process of changing that too. So one of the things we've decided to do is it all goes through a heat exchanger kind of in the back corner behind the wing engine right there. Can't really see it. The water discharge for the heat exchanger was below the water line, and we like to be able to see that, make sure we have cooling water going through the hydraulic system. So we're moving it to another through hole that is above the water line, so we can, when we start it, we can actually see the water discharge.
Cool. I'm gonna get the cat and get him out of the engine room. Get out. What are you doing? Go get. Come on.
And that's our helper.
Go. Not in there.
He's swearing.